You know, it's always a scary thing when you get a bad doctor's report.
And so he said, you have a tumor. Immediately they thought it was cancer.
The humanly or fleshly thing to do is to worry and think the worst. However, in times like these, we should always remember 1 Thessalonians 5:17.
We went to church and I had intercessory prayer at church. And we prayed on it.
Here's another testimony of God's healing power, not once, but twice.
He said, I've never seen anything like it. I had a physical ailment that was definitely a satanic attack, and I had low energy and couldn't walk from maybe 10 feet without feeling faint or possibly passing out, having to sit down. And me being me, I would try to cut the grass, I'd do yard work, whatever I could do with this. And come find out that, long story short, that I had been to 4 different doctors. None of them could figure out what was going on, why I was feeling this way. And then I was losing blood through my bowels. And immediately they thought it was cancer. And so I went to they took me to a cancer specialist. And he I told him what was going on. He said, oh, I know exactly what's going on. And so he said, you have a tumor that's laying across your spleen. And he said, you have also a tumor that's in your stomach, that's part of your stomach. So when I went to him, he immediately said, talk surgery. And when he said surgery, this was in 1997, he said, your worst case scenario is that you'll lose your spleen, you'll lose part of your stomach, and maybe a upper portion of your intestines, and maybe some blood loss. You'll have a lot of blood loss. So I went to the hospital. But before then, we went to church, and I had intercessory prayer at church. And we prayed on it. And the next day, I was supposed to have surgery. So I'm in the hospital that evening, laying in bed, and it's like 12, 1 in the morning, sometime or another. And this nurse came in, and she's singing this song. So I said, what song is that? It was a gospel song. And she told me, I can't remember what it was. I had never seen this nurse before. So she said, you having surgery in the morning? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, you know what? Don't you worry about anything. God got this. I'm sorry, because it's still, I know it was God. It was all God. And the morning of the surgery, I'm laying in my bed like this. Let's go. I was ready. I had, and the only thing I kept saying to myself, mustard seed, faith of a mustard seed. And it's so small, the mustard seed. And I said, all I need is that much faith to believe. And so and the confidence and the faith that I had in God that he was going to bring me through. After the surgery, the doctor came back and he said, I don't understand it. He said, there was no blood loss. You lost no parts of your body. He said the tumors lifted right up and cut off. He said it was like the fat in the thigh of a chicken. You know how loose it is in it? He said that's what the tumors were. What it was laying across the vein on my spleen and causing the blood loss. But there was no blood loss. They just lifted right up. And then after I went to him, I had to have another surgery because they found some more. He said, well, this time you're going to have chemo. His faith was gone. He believed I got lucky the first time. So I went back to intercessory prayer again, and we go back in again, and same thing. He said, there's no blood loss, nothing. They just lifted right up. He said, I've never seen anything like it. But Then we moved here to Jacksonville in 1999. I got healthy again. In 2008, I believe it was, I had a similar thing happening where I did an x-ray for something on my chest, and they saw something on my kidney, and it was halfway on my kidney. So this doctor, he froze my kidney, removed the kidney, and I told him, he said it was a tumor. I said, I don't think it's a tumor. I said, I think it's the same thing I had before. I said, I don't think nothing's wrong with my kidney. So when he took the kidney after the surgery, I told him, I said, what you do with my kidney? I said, I told you I want to see the kidney. I want to see the mass on the kidney. He said, oh, we threw it away. We threw it. I said, yeah, you sold that kidney. Because I was that confident that God had me. He had me protected. And like I said, that was in 2008. That's 17 years ago. Right. I've been living perfectly fine with just one kidney, right, with diabetes and all. And, you know, diabetes usually destroys the kidney, and you go through dialysis and all that stuff. So I've been truly, truly blessed. Wow. Truly blessed.
Wow. Having had those experiences, talk to us now about your faith and how your faith has grown. Did you find that you probably didn't trust God enough before, but now you're now in a whole different sphere of trusting Him?
Man, yeah. Before I didn't have any trust, and now I know that no weapon can form against me that He will allow to prosper. And you can get attacked constantly, but God's going to protect you. He said, no weapon shall form against you. And as long as you believe and have faith that God will deliver you. Now, I'm going to say this. I know this isn't biblical, but I believe that when God's ready for you, He'll let you know. He'll let you know. Your time's good here. You've produced and you've done what I've wanted you to do. So I'm calling you home. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that Satan didn't win the battle and took me out. God allowed me to go home. And I'm quite sure He'll let you know before. Because when my mom passed, she was transitioning like that. She was transitioning, letting us know that, you know what, I'm dying, but this isn't nothing Satan's doing. God's already talked to me about it. He told me that my work is done, it's completed, and shortly I will be leaving. And yeah, man, my faith is I have a lot of faith in God. Every now and then, you know, being human, we do have a tendency to doubt, you know, second thought. Now I don't know if I think I may have to help no. Take your hands off, let God do what He does, because He's done it all this time. And in my life, He's done it for 71 years. Take your hands off and let it, you know, let God. Yeah.
Go ahead and look in the camera. Encourage somebody.
I'm going to tell you this. Trust God. Believe in God. Love God. Love Him with all your heart and understanding. When you put your understanding toward God, you're putting your life in God's hands, and God will lead and guide and direct you. Continue to pray. Continue to believe. If you're having problems with finances, if you're having problems with your marriage, with your children, God will deliver. He will bring forth new fruit. Just trust in the Lord. That's all I can say. Just trust in the Lord.